right from the beginning. Okay. We had many classes together, right? Many sessions together. How many of you know me? Just raise hand. Hmm. Okay. Alok, Jadeswar, Prashant, Pooja, Satyajit, Anupriyas. Right. Quite a few. Good. So this time plan is a little different, as you must be knowing, right? Uh, let's start the discussion. Let's start interacting. Uh, just customary. I will tell you about the format. You must be knowing the format, but once we discuss the format, taking 4 or 5 minutes, that may help us in our preparation. So, with that hope, let's start. Before we start, do you want to ask anything? Like briefly, I would tell you about myself. My name is Sadanand Meher. I have been associated with Kalinga IAS for last 3 years, and um recently I have joined OES, Odisha Education Service, as an assistant professor in Teachers Training College. Okay, that is a B.Ed college that you say. And last time also I was associated with the civil services preparation of the institution. And this is where today we start the English portion of this. You must be already preparing yourself with other subjects. And all. Today we start with English. Okay. Anything that you want to say or anything you want to ask before we start the basic introduction? Anybody? No, in that case. Anupriya, you have raised hand. You want to say something? No. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So, as you have already crossed this preliminary stage, let's directly talk about the main stage. And my portion is English. That is a compulsory paper. You already know about it, and it's a 300 marks paper. Beyond that, I also deal with the essay paper that is 300 marks that we will discuss later. Okay. Nature of the paper. Let's try to have an understanding of the paper that is this is compulsory and qualifying. Now, what do you mean by this qualifying? Do you already know about it? Do you have complete idea as you are going to write mains exam? When we say qualifying, what do you mean? Can anybody talk about it?
So 35% basic qualifying marks.
35% basic qualifying mark. Okay. That is what they write at least in the advertisement. Okay. Then
If we will not qualify in this paper, then our copy will not stick.
if you do not qualify in this paper, then your paper would not be, rest of the papers would not be evaluated. Right. And what is the qualifying rate? Do people fail in this paper?
So
50%.
50%. So that brings us this thing, fear. Fear is associated with English anyway, right from our childhood, because grammar, all those things, we get little scared about English. And again, when English becomes qualifying in a high stake exam like Odisha Civil Services and all, even UPSC, that brings even more fear, right? Around 60% aspirants fail to qualify. This is really worrying. But what we can do, if we get real and good strategy, then we can qualify in this paper very easily. Let's look at this structure very quickly. You must be knowing about it already, but let me take 5 to 10 minutes just to have a discussion, so that uh, if any question crops up, we can have a quick discussion on that. Comprehension, 30 marks. And you need to write down answers, not select ABCD kind of thing, not multiple choice. Precise writing, 40 marks. Translation from Odia to English, 30 marks. Grammar, usage, and vocabulary. Now, there are 3 words, and grammar portion is the biggest portion here. This word may look very small, grammar, but it's a vast ocean. You must be already knowing about it. And question may be there from any grammar item. What are the grammar items you get questions from in the civil service exam, English paper? Grammar portion I am talking about. What are the grammar items? Are you familiar with any previous year's question?
Synonyms, antonyms, homonyms.
Synonym, antonym is grammar or vocabulary?
Oh, grammar related to
Preposition. Fill in the blanks.
Preposition.
Preposition.
Preposition, okay.
So modal.
grammar.
Modals,
Sir,
sir.
Modals,
Conditional
direct,
clause.
direct speech, indirect speech,
active voice, passive voice,
voice,
verb, preposition, conjunction, interjection,
okay. Parts of speech means parts of speech we're talking about. Then
parts, please.
Noun, form,
Transformation,
verb.
sentence,
noun
types of
form,
sentence.
verb form, okay. Types of what?
Types of sentences and transformation sentence.
Transformation sentence, okay, good. Then any other item?
Idioms.
Phrasal verb, idiom, that is vocabulary part.
Vocabulary.
Sentence structure,
Sir,
Error.
article, right.
Sir,
Conjunction.
confused word.
Conjunction. Sorry, what did you say?
Confused word, sir.
Confuse words. Okay, they give a pair of words and they ask you to make
Homonym.
sentences with that.
Sir, error detection.
Error correction. You're talking about error again. Error correction can can be from anything, right?
One
Any
word
grammar.
substitution.
Substitution, word substitution, and all those things.
Most difficult part is the single word substitution or antonyms, synonyms.
Okay, you're talking about vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Okay. And what about idioms? Phrasal verbs?
Yeah, it also comes under
Out
vocabulary.
of 5 idioms, out of 5 phrasal verbs, 1 or 2 may look familiar, like, and may look easy, but around 50 to 60% questions look unfamiliar, difficult. Okay. So this portion has 80 marks, but vast ocean we need to be familiar with to be successful in this portion. And interestingly, this is the most mark fetching portion of this paper. Do you agree with me or not? This agree. Yes, because when you're writing an essay, you do not know how you will be evaluated. But in this grammar portion, if you know the answer, you can get full mark. Means out of 80 marks, you can get 80 marks here, without doubt. Right or wrong? If you are prepared that way. Okay. So we will address each portion one by one. This is just an introduction kind of session. Short essay of around 1000 words. Okay. Expansion of idea, 20 marks. Here on this screen, all the items are there from your question paper. Have I left out anything or I have mentioned everything?
Everything is mentioned.
Okay. Do you have any question? Do you want to ask anything?
So the paper where to start?
Where to start?
So when writing, so from where we should start?
Most ideal way is following the sequence of the question paper. Not really changing the sequence. Okay. Most ideal way, I would say. First, they give the essay, right?
Yes, sir.
Then reading comprehension.
So
Right. Why I am saying this? I have been evaluating many answer scripts and all. As an evaluator, we have a question paper and sometimes an answer sheet also. When you write number 8 first, then go to number 5, then go to number 1, then number 10, then suddenly number 2, 2A, then 7B, then 8C. What will be the condition of evaluator? You just tell me. Evaluator will be very happy with your script or angry or natural or what?
Evaluator will be definitely angry, sir.
Obviously, yes.
Putting
Obviously,
the
yes.
evaluator in trouble.
Yeah. And then obviously he would also put you in trouble. And the
Vice
trouble that
versa.
he puts you in would put your life in trouble. Right. So it's advisable follow this sequence. Okay.
the sequence of the question.
Sequence of the question. The evaluator will be very happy.
Mm.
And another impression it would create. The evaluator will think that okay, the candidate is well prepared with all the items. Started with essay, whatever item came across him or her, he just answered it. This is the way. In prelim, generally, I had asked my students to start with reading comprehension because that is mark fetching and all. In prelim, that doesn't matter which item you address first, but in mains, it matters, right? It's about the sequence. I like those answer scripts which are neatly presented and which are in a sequence. This is my opinion. And if you want to have a different opinion, we can have a discussion, please. Which portion do you think you should be writing first?
So writing essay at the last, I think. Managing the time.
What is the
Managing
argument?
is managing the time.
Yes,
I
agree
think it
with
will
you.
be best,
But
in my opinion.
don't you think essay is a high stake item having 100 marks?
No, sir, I'm saying that we have to manage the time. Essay carries 100 marks, so we have to devote the 1/3 time to it. For
So
time management.
can't you devote 1/3 time in the beginning with a fresh mind?
Yes, so we can do that. But in my opinion, as I previously did that
Previously, you
in the previous pains, I did that, and it
you
was
just
quite
started
successful.
with essay.
No, sir. For number 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then at last, I skipped to the essay part.
Okay. Do you think you benefited from that?
Yes, sir. I'm quite successful.
Okay. What was your score?
So I got 150 around.
150. Okay, that's a quite respectable score, we can say. Good. Anyway, like in English paper, whatever mark you score, it should be above the qualifying line. That's all, right? Because marks do not count. English marks do not count, right?
Sir, marking is liberal or strict?
That, how can I say that?
So I think marking is not liberal that way.
Not liberal, because at least with English they are strict, because once they filter students at this stage, it makes their lives easy. First they evaluate English paper, then they decide the evaluators for different papers, because then only they decide how many papers are to be evaluated. So these 80 marks, grammar, usage and vocabulary, even if they want, they cannot be liberal. It has to be straight, right or wrong. And these long questions depends on the evaluator sometimes, but evaluator cannot really give you a lot of marks even if he or she wants, because there is a guideline. What kind of write-up to be awarded, what kind of score. There must be a guideline. Model answers must be there. There must be guideline. They do not give you model answers, but they must be preparing that for evaluators. Okay. And do not expect them to be liberal. You should be near perfect in this paper so that there is risk. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
yes, sir. Sir, how
Sir,
should he sir, how should he write the grammars? Like only there is the question and we'll only write the answers, or we have to write the full sentence?
Full sentence, right?
So how can I restrict, limit the words? Words.
Limit the words of what? Which item?
Essay item.
It's already indicated, right? 1000 words.
So how can I, when I will be writing, how can
practice like when
it
you
be
write,
written?
you do that on an A4 page, and you count just one page. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You count your own handwriting and count just one page. You will get a rough idea of how many words you are writing on one page. Suppose you are writing 250 to 300 words in a page. Generally, our one line contains 6 to 7 words, unless you are writing triple XL size letters. Our one line contains 6 to 7 words. Just you need to count the number of lines that you write on a piece of paper, or you can count the whole words also, all the words in a single page. Then you will get a rough idea of the number of words you write on a page. Accordingly, you write, suppose you write 300 pages. You write around 4 pages for an essay. That's all. Don't think that 100 marks, so you have to write 25 pages essay. It's not like that.
Hello, sir.
You write substantial content, but 4 to 5 pages. That would be enough.
Sir?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sir. Thank you, sir.
How to deal with precise writing, sir? Although I can comprehend the whole passage, but it is difficult for me to writing in that wordly bit, sir.
How to write what comprehension questions?
No, sir. Precise writing.
Press writing.
Press writing.
Press writing.
You can understand, but what is the problem?
Sir, my problem is that I can comprehend the whole passage, but for me it is kind of a difficult thing to write precise. Matlab, पूरा वही कम
I got
वर्ड
it.
है उसको सर को लिखना थोड़ा
I got
ठीक
it.
हो जाएगा.
Because Prezi writing has a principle, you need to bring it down to 1/3 length. And
Yes.
bringing it down to 1/3 length is a problem for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have strategies for that. Let me tell you one thing here. We will be dedicating 1 or 2 complete class for each of these items, like comprehension, long questions at least. Comprehension, 1 or 2 sessions, we will be discussing everything about comprehension. Okay, strategies, what to do, what not to do, and everything. Then Prezi writing, the concern that you are showing is not only your concern. Many people have this problem. Okay, summarizing a passage means bringing it down to 1/3 length is not a simple art, but it's a beautiful thing. Once you learn the art of summarizing, you will not have this question. That's a promise from my side, and we will have practice also, right? And this comprehension, Prezi writing, translation, short essay, and expansion. These are long questions. We will dedicate at least 1 session or 2 sessions for each of these items. Okay.
Second thing, sir. Next thing is
Hello, sir.
we know that grammar is a huge vast grammar itself is a vast syllabus, you know.
Yes.
But it is really time consuming, and we do not have right now enough time to cover all those subjects and topics.
I understand. Yes.
So how to go with that, sir?
If you ask me, my personal opinion, I think that you should understand all the concepts. But now, as you mentioned, there is no time, and we have started late. And this time strategy is a little different. We can just go ahead with mock discussion and all those things. Looks like you people have asked for it. You people wanted mock discussion only. So let's go that way. Let's have some mock questions discussion. You have written two mock tests. I have questions using which you have written the mock test. Those things we will be discussing. I will conduct another 3 mock tests, and those things also we will be discussing. And any particular item after that, if you have some doubt about some particular item, we can have a quick discussion on that. But this time, detailed discussion of concept is not in the plan. Let me be very honest with you.
So it will. Is it enough to go with the plan that have you given that only limited number of tests will be provided?
No. Honestly, no. Concepts you should be knowing. This is my belief, but as you know already, the constraints, the time we do not have, and you wanted only mock discussions and all. I have been told that way, but okay, let's discuss it later. Let's see whether we can address main items like subject-verb agreements. We will try to dedicate one class for that. Active passive reported speech, 1 class we will try to dedicate. That way we will try to address important concepts, but I don't think all the items can be addressed now that we do not have much time.
Sir, how to
Just one
approach?
request, please.
Sir, I have a question.
Please, there is a girl asking a question. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question that in essay writing, we can use a flow diagram or any graphs or any tree structures for any extra marks.
If that is necessary.
Thank you, sir.
If that is necessary and if that has a role to play. And please do not say this for extra marks. If you target extra mark, mate mili jibo mu eta kardebi gote flow chart gote that has no role in explaining the concept, then suppose forcibly you have used that, the evaluator will get to know. Something that is necessary, let's say pie chart, a table, or a bar diagram, or some illustrations, something that is necessary for the text, if you present, you will have an upper hand there. You will have benefit there. Do not do forcible things. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ question ଅଛି. Sir, ଆମେ essay ରେ ଆମେ sir paragraph format sir maintain କରିବା ନା ଆମେ କିଛି data suppose ଆମେ use କରିବା କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ question ପାଇଁ ତ ଆମେ point format ଆମେ କରିପାରିବା?
Points ରେ କରିପାରିବା ନା, ଆଉ ସେଟା ବି ଆମେ discuss କରିବା points କେମିତି develop କରାଯିବ।
ନାଇଁ sir, ଆମେ suppose ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ paragraph ଆମେ continue କରି ଚାଲିଛୁ ତ ଆମେ କିଛି data ମାନେ ଦରକାର ଥିଲା ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ତ ଆମେ ମଝିରେ points use କରିପାରିବା?
देखो, your question is not clear. Let me tell you. Let me try to answer 3-4 things you are asking, like points आम करिया कथा कि नहीं, तापरे डेटा देवा कथा कि नहीं। देखो, सबू पॉइंट रे डेटा रही पारिबो। Each point can have data if you're talking about.
No sir, actually sir आपण ମୁଁ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହୁଛି sir, actually sir paragraph ଆମେ ଲେଖିବା essay ରେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ paragraph ଲେଖୁଛେ ତ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଆମେ କିଛି ଚାହିଁବା କି paragraph ନ ଲେଖିକି ମାନେ ମଝିରେ ଆମେ break କରିକି କିଛି points format ରେ କିଛି ଲେଖିବା, point format ରେ 1 2 3 ଏମିତି।
नहीं से सीबीएसई स्कूल टाइप रो से जो माने 10 मार्क तो 10टा पॉइंट लिखि दे सेमती न लिखि गिरी we will stick to paragraph pattern।
Okay sir, okay sir.
से सेमती से ABCD 1 2 3 4 एंती सब करियानी।
सर ट्रांसलेशन टा केमती के हमें अप्रोच करिया ट्रांसलेशन, वी आर नॉट परफेक्ट इन ट्रांसलेशन फ्रॉम ओडिया टू इंग्लिश।
ट्रांसलेशन पाई गोटे ब्यूटीफुल फार्मूला अछि। Those who have attended my class already, they know again that formula must माने कहूँ ना माने for each long question item at least we will dedicate 1 or 2 classes, like 1 2 3 4 5 comprehension, précis, translation, short essay, expansion. Let's say 2 classes each item. So in those 2 classes, first class I will be telling you strategy. Second class maybe we will have some practice and your questions. So the translation thing that you are asking, there is a beautiful formula actually. Not many are familiar, but there is a nice formula, and if you apply that formula, that's quite interesting. If you apply that formula, all the translations become easy. We will discuss that. Okay. Sorry.
Sir, do they count the number of words in an essay or like pressure writing?
Not at all.
Okay. If we override the number of words, then minus money and nothing like that.
See, override in the sense, suppose you write 1050 words. Nobody cares, and it doesn't look like over lengthy answers. And if you have written 25 pages, nobody needs to even count. Looking at the answer, they will get to know that you have written over lengthy answer. So obviously, one person will be angry. Okay, there is no need of writing 25 pages. If you are sticking to content, substantial content, भलो जिनस भलो लेखा जदि लेखिया को चाहो, भलो content जदि देवा को चाहो, do you think you will have 25 pages on a concept to write? But if you want to put in all these scraps, nonsense kind of things, then you will have 25, 100, 150 pages you will have to write. So bring in substantial thing and stick to wall limits in and around somewhere. You can take the advantage of going up to 1050, not more than that. Nobody counts the words.
Understood.
Hello sir.
Hello sir. Yes.
Sir, essay ro structure ଟିକେ କହିବେ କି?
Again?
essay को केमती structure करियो ଟିକେ କହିବେ କି?
essay ର structure ଟା କରିବା okay as I mentioned ମାନେ one by one ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ discussion କରିବା ପ୍ରତି item we will have this discussion okay and let me tell you just one thing all the essays will not have one structure. There are different kinds of essays. Like argumentative essay will have different structure. General essay will have different structure. Okay, and only after studying the title essay topic, we decide the structure of the essay. से जो आमे स्कूल रे लिखुथिले उपक्रम उपसंहार then conclusion को कौन कहते के जानी भूल जाई छी सेमती that format we will not follow. There is a way of flow of the essay, and let me tell you one interesting thing. It's the topic which should decide what format you should be following. Once we start discussion of essay, you tell me one thing. Next class we should be discussing a mock test answers, or we should be addressing one of these: comprehension, précis, translation, short essay, or expansion. What do you want?
Sir, can we add the techniques in the mock test? Like in the mock test, comprehension of a given passage, here is the writing, and I will apply that in during mock discussion, and that will be better, sir.
So what do you want? The mock test discussion first?
Let's go with the previous year question first, 1 or 2, and then we'll go for this one by one. This all the contents one by one.
Okay, so you want a discussion of previous year's question first?
1 or 2. That's
1 or 2.
Then we will do.
Yes, sir. Previous year question discussion will be beneficial.
Okay, so the next class we will discuss previous year's questions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Previous year questions.
That will give us an idea of the kind
They are
of
asking
questions.
the exam.
Right. The kind of topic, the kind of comprehension, everything we will get familiar with. Then we will go ahead.
Go to each section of the questions, like comprehension, translation, grammar, or essay writing.
Everything we will be discussing. Everything we will be discussing. But let me share one concern with you. Let me share one concern. Suppose we started discussion of the previous year's question in the next class, and we are discussing this reading comprehension. Here there is a passage, and after that there are 4 or 5 questions, and we start discussing the answer. Before this, if we have discussed the strategies related to comprehension in one class, that would be more beneficial, or first looking at a model question would be okay.
Your approach is
Sir, second one will be more beneficial, sir.
Sorry?
Second one.
Strategy.
So during discussion, can we put the strategy?
That would be quite distracting, and discussion of one previous year question complete will take more than 4 to 5 classes.
Definitely, sir.
Do you understand that?
Sir,
Suppose we started
strategy.
with essay writing, the first item. Now there are many questions like, sir, what should we write here? Content, I cannot help you with the content. Structure,
Content wise, sir. That will be really
sir,
difficult.
how many types of essays are there? Out of 4 given question, which essay is which type? Then which type has which format? So do you think we will be able to close a discussion or finish a discussion of essay writing in 10 to 15 minutes? Is that possible? Not at all.
Not at all. It will be really difficult to discuss all those things in a stipulated time.
Right. So discussion of one particular previous year question, one complete paper will take more than 5 to 6, because comprehension comes. Now you are not familiar with comprehension strategy. or Prezi writing comes, you are not familiar with strategy and all those things. So as and when any item comes, we have to discuss that item first, then address the question. What do you think?
Sir, your strategy is the best.
Sir, it will be also beneficial for the students who are hearing for the first time. So knowing the concept and strategy of everything, we can also attempt after knowing that strategy, we can also attempt that question by looking at the previous year question.
Grammar discussion is not in the scene. So what we can do, let's do one thing. Comprehension at least one class, Prezi writing at least one class, then translation, then short essay, then expansion. Let's have 5 to 6 classes and then start the mock, start the previous year's question discussion, then your mock discussion, whatever you have taken, then I will give you another 2 or 3 mock.
So classes will be
Will that be
every
okay?
day?
Yes, sir.
Every day we have not planned that way, but I will talk to sir about this, and as for your requirement, we will schedule the things.
सर फास्ट स्ट्रैटेजी टा ही कहि दियंतु तार एप्लीकेबल केमति होउची त मॉक टेस्ट रे किबा प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन रे ताको हम जानि परिबा बेटर रहिबो सेमति हाले इनसटा.
That is what we discussed now. That is what we did. Okay. Any other thing that you want to say? Anything that you want to ask anybody?
Antonyms, synonyms, आउडे रहिले आपनकर हां सिंगल वर्ड रो आर किछि अछि उपाय ना खाली जस्ट मेमोराइज करिया पाए.
देखो माने we have materials. What we can do, I can share a lot of posters and all those things. Which group do you belong to? I do not even know that. Like Kalinga IAS. Now that's a community or what?
Yes, sir.
How to communicate to you guys? Okay, I will.
There's a separate group for English audio. There you can post it.
There is separate group.
Yeah, for English and audio, one group has been made.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
It will be not accessible to all the mains answer writing candidates. It will be better if it's put in the community.
No, because we are paying separately for English and Odia, no?
Yes, group name Odia and English test.
We are not entitled in this. No, Odia and English.
Okay, we will. That is administrative issue. We will talk about it later. I will discuss it with the office. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We will find a way. We will find a way to share the help and all. And frequently, I will share posters and all related to idioms, phrasal verbs, and antonyms and synonyms. Okay. And there will be some exercises also. Yes.
Sir, excuse me, sir. What a question,
yeah,
sir.
Please tell me.
Sir, sir, essay जो short essay पढ़ुजी, sir 1000 word रो. ता भीतरे sir A D of जो short letter जो हमर आसुजी सेउडा को word count हो.
Let me tell you one thing. I have already mentioned nobody counts. And a good writer will have less of structural word A, N, D, I, C, he. Eta sabu kom rahibo. Good write-up and substantial content word besi rahibo. So do not really try to. Nobody is bothered about whether you have completed the required number of words. हजारे word लेखी छके नहीं कि गणी कि ओहो हजारे word लेखी दी छथि 100 मार्क दे दियो एमती नुह एमती नुह हला and is are लेखी पूरा करिया को चेष्टा करो नहीं
सर एटा प्रेसिस रे इंपोर्टेंट की इट जिछटा प्रेसिस रे इंपोर्टेंट की प्रेसिस रे
in Prezi that is immensely important. In Prezi, because skill is that. You are right. Now you are asking 2 questions. You asked me about the importance of wall limit in essay. There is a different answer to that. In Prezi writing, what is the skill? The main skill of Prezi writing is bringing it to 1/3 length. So here it is immensely important. You even need to count the number of words and write there. 1000 words ro jo passage diya hai wo, after writing the Prezi, you need to mention 340 words. You need to mention that. Say examiner goni no paranti, he or she may not count the number of words, but you should write that. Okay.
Sir, I write 150 to 160 words. Is that all right?
From 1000?
Yes, sir.
That is not all right. 1/3 pura.
So 300. Oh, yes, sir.
You need to bring it down to 1/3. Means 300 around. 300 to 330 likhibo. Kemti hi gala mane I do not understand. Mane kemti mane hi gala 150 words re.
I only wrote the core concept, like the keyword in the core theme. I only wrote those.
Core theme, okay, ठीक अछि. Core theme गोटे line रे भी लिखा ही परिवो, किंतु there are many important things in a passage that you cannot really leave out, right? And if you have written in 100 words, I'm sure you must have left out many key concepts. Okay, we will discuss that when time comes. We will discuss that. Okay.
Sir, I have one doubt. Sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you start the essay with a quotation? Quotation, sir.
A relevant quotation you can start with, if that is really related to the title. Quotation रे start करिवार ही अछि बोली करी गोटे जबरदस्ती कुठुटे टाणी की आनिवार नाही. बुझि पाछो त? किंतु suppose there is a closely related quotation. And that is contributing to a great start of the essay. Why not? That's a welcome idea.
So then can you mention the quotation in the middle of the essay, middle and at the last of the last paragraph of the essay? Can you conclude with
wherever
the quotation also?
Wherever it fits, I would say. माने beginning रे देले बेसी मार्क आसीबो कि मझी रे देले बेसी मार्क आसीबो, conclusion रे देले बेसी मार्क आसीबो, ए भलिया कोनोसी स्टेटमेंट मु देबी नाही. I would say wherever it fits the best. Okay.
Sir, more experience sir prupur sir just more experience sir. Sir prupur sir more essay sir 90 ruhe 85 90 ruhe, but sir previous year sir मुटी quotation mention करथिली, quotation दे दिली 3-4 quotation तो sir 114 sir थिला, इतले sir मु अकाउंट पे पचारली sir.
निहाती that will attract the attention of the examiner, and the examiner किछि न पढिले भी से quotation ताकू भी पढिबे आ देखिबे एई टाइटल रे एई quotation ता लिखा हिची. If the examiner thinks that okay, these quotations are closely related, so nice write up, gote asibo nihati gote attraction asibo, then he would be impressed, obviously.
Okay, sir. Thank
you.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, one more question is there.
जे जने पचारुसंती तांको पचारे को दियो.
हेलो सर, एक्चुअली मोर जानवर थिला कि हम जो एसे लिखु छे तो कोई किछि अंडरलाइन करबाटा ठीक हेबो कि?
की कॉन्सेप्ट्स जदी अछि, डेटा की डेटा, ओके,
यदि कोटेशन यूज करू छे कोटेशन.
हां.
Thank you, sir.
Don't really underline in different ink and all, different color ink, but light underlining would be okay, but that should be substantial and important portion. Key data, key points, एमती नुह जे 70 भाग तुमे अंडरलाइन कर देथिबो गोटे एसे रो आ पेपर बहुत खराब देखा जाउथो, सेमती नुह हला.
हेलो सर.
सर आ गोटे क्वेश्चन सर, हमर जो एक्सपेंशन आईडिया सेटा केमिति लिखा हबो?
Expansion again, that is an interesting portion, I would say. Generally, they give a proverb, and one thing here I would say, relate that proverb with our day-to-day life. Okay, and use a storytelling strategy to write the expansion here. Storytelling strategy means relate it to our lives, and after that, what happens? You just present an event. What happened related to this, and what lesson it gives. This is
ଆମେ
what I.
ଗୋଟେ story create କରିପାରିବା like ଗୋଟେ ଆମେ
You
fictional
can
character
create.
play.
You know, I do not have any kind of related story related event to this event, so I cannot write the exam. You should not think. You may be creative a little, right? You can be creative. Suppose nothing has happened that way. What goes around comes around. Jodi asichi. Gote. What goes around comes around. The ମାନେ ଯେମିତି କରିବ ସେମିତି ଭରିବ ଏମିତି ଟାଇପ ର। ତ ଯଦି ସେମିତି କିଛି ହେଇନି, ତୁମେ କାହାକୁ ଧୋକା ଦେଇନ କି ତୁମର କେବେ ସେମିତି କିଛି କାହାକୁ ଖରାପ କରିନ, ତୁମ ସହ କିଛି ଖରାପ ହେଇନି, ତଥାପି you can create a story. If not your own story, you can create a story for your neighbor or something like that. And you can at least, after telling a story, you can just give a moral to that. That would be enough.
Sir, hello sir.
Yes.
Sir, handwriting improvement ପାଇଁ କଣ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ?
Handwriting improvement ପାଇଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ, should I tell you that it's already late? I do not want to tell you, but what's your age now, if I can ask?
Sir, 28.
Do you write regularly?
Yes, sir.
Do you
Sir,
see changes?
Sir, it's legible to read, but not looking so nice.
28 now, I would say it's, I would not say impossible, but very difficult to change. You try, you can do one or two little things, but I'm not sure that would contribute. In my case, it contributes. You recognize a particular kind of pens with which your handwriting is little better. Have you felt anything like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's true. It's true on me.
ଯେମିତି କି ମାନେ ସେ ଯୋଉ ଆମେ ପାର୍କର ପେନ୍ ରେ କେବେ ବି ଭଲ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡରାଇଟିଂ ହୁଏ ନାହିଁ। 5 ଟଙ୍କିଆ ସେ ଯୋଉ ଲିଙ୍କ ପେନ୍ ରେ ଭଲ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡରାଇଟିଂ ହୁଏ।
सर मोर टिपटॉप से रबर वाला पेन रे भला हैंडराइटिंग होची आ अलगा बिना रबर वाला पेन रे हैंडराइटिंग एते खास होनी सेथरे कर्सिव टाइप रो होची टिपटॉप रे।
कहारो मोटा पेन रे भलो हैंडराइटिंग हुए, कहारो सरू पेन रे हुए, कहारो ग्रिप वाला पेन रे हुए। सो recognize a particular kind of pen which writes best for you. Okay, use that pen.
सर आ गोटे क्वेश्चन सर लास्ट सर माने ए जो कंपलसरी पेपर रे माने हैंडराइटिंग टिके देखंती ना माने
हैंडराइटिंग देखंती नो हैंडराइटिंग पई एमति कहि परिबने जे मार्क अछि किंतु मु गोटे क्वेश्चन उल्टा पचाउछि तुमको। सपोज यू आर एन इवैल्यूएटर, जने लेखि छि जे माछी मशा बसला भलिया गोटे छिनछत्र कर लेखि छि, आउ जने लेखि छि बहुत सुंदर देखा जाउछि, सुंदर किछि कटा छटा नाही, पढ़ी होउछि भल से। कोटा तुमरो बेसी टाइम नबो, को पेपर बेसी टाइम नबो?
सर जोटा कटा छटा हे छि
को पेपर ता तुमको बेसी माने इट विल मेक यू एंग्री।
जे बेसिक जोटा कटा छटा हे छि
को पेपर बेसी मार्क पाइबो?
द हैंडराइटिंग वेरी नाइस हे छि माने सुंदर देखा
नेचुरल।
सर सर इंग्लिश एसे रे ओडिया कोटेशन लिखिबा कि नै?
नहीं, not at all. No, never.
Suppose देवनागरी स्क्रिप्ट के ये रे संस्कृत लिखिबा कि?
Sanskrit you can write, but again I would say if that is immensely necessary and there is no other option, Sanskrit देखै हबा पई लिखिबो नाही। Suppose there is a Sanskrit slok, sloka to konosi alternative nahi. And there is a sloka, there is any kind of quotation that is very much apt, very much suitable to the title or very much suitable to the content, then only you write. And another thing, if you can write that Sanskrit sloka perfectly without making mistake, that is also another issue.
ओडिया रे लेखले प्रॉब्लम कण कहते लगे ये सेटा ये जो इंग्लिश essay रे
You are giving the answer, right? It's English essay.
yes but माने ओडिया रे तो लेखला वाला इंग्लिश कोटेशन दले तो सेटा तो ये होचे ना
सेटा भी करिया कथा न it's a particular language test, right? Odia test, English test, सेटा भी करिया कथा न एमति न हो जे don't think that English has bigger prestige or something like that. I do not agree with that. A language test has to be language test. ओडिया रे ऐसे लिखिया को कहैछि माने ओडिया रे ऐसे लिखियो, इंग्लिश रे ऐसे लिखिया को कहैछि माने इंग्लिश रे ऐसे लिखियो. ओके, सेठी तुमरा राइटिंग स्टाइल देखा जाउछि and your capabilities in English देखा जाउछि. Capabilities in Sanskrit sloka, capability to incorporate English quotation in Odia essay, eta देखा जाउछि कि तुमे को when you are writing an essay in Odia, are they concerned about how many perfect quotation you can write in English? Is it what they are looking at? Tell me yes or no.
No sir, no sir.
They are looking at your Odia capabilities.
Yes sir.
They are looking at the way you can write an essay in Odia. Right?
Yes,
It's a
sir.
basic concept.
But writing rate enhance करछे ना कि माने गोटे टाइप रो
Don't have that idea, please. It doesn't really enhance. That's why I'm time and again telling you. संस्कृत श्लोक संस्कृत को आमे गोटे बहुत बड़ एटा गोटे भाबू बहुत बड़ स्थान दऊ आ ठीक अछि मदर लैंग्वेज कोन मु कहली if there is a Sanskrit sloka and Sanskrit sloks have no alternative. Sanskrit sloka को तुम English translate करके लिखि परिबा नै. तो if there is a slok and that is perfectly related to the topic and content, you bring that in. Into एमती न हो जो 50% Sanskrit रे लिखि देबी and I will think that the examiner will be very happy with that. 1 or 2 quotation maximum. Okay.
Hello sir.
Hello sir. Hello.
Yes.
Hello sir. Sir, comprehension ଆମେ जो question attempt କରୁଛୁ ତ comprehension ରୁ ଆମେ ସେ ମାନେ word ora ସବୁ copy paste କରିବୁ ନା synonym antonym ଲେଖିବୁ.
Words, at the level of words it's okay, at the level of sentences not okay. Mane, did you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Gote after locating the answer, you recognize an answer area from the passage. 2-3 lines ta tuma dekhila je ei lines bhitere ei sentences bhitere answer achi. You should not really copy paste those sentences. So sentence level copy pasting should not happen. 1 or 2 words can be as it is copied and all. Do not bother yourself to find a synonym for each word. एमती न हो जे सेथरु word गोटे आसी गले बहुत मुश्किल. You people are advised to write with your own wordings. माने पूरा सेंटेंस कॉपी न करिकी जेमती 4 क्लास रो पिला 5 क्लास रो पिला कॉम्प्रिहेंशन आंसर केमती करंती से जाई कि देखि जानती जे एटा आंसर अब से कंप्लीटली सही सेंटेंस को उतारी देते because they do not have composition capabilities. But you have composition capabilities. You should read the sentence right on your own. Okay.
Okay sir, thank you.
So spelling mistake कितने दूर में कितने ये impact पकाए language पे does it matter a lot?
हाँ, to the extent of 4-5 spelling mistake in a paper is excusable because while writing sometime we do not even notice ଛାଡି ହେଇ ଯାଇଥିବ ଗୋଟେ letter କି କଣ ଏମିତି problem ହେଇ ଯାଇଥିବ.
Exactly, sir.
That's a small problem. Kintu just in each and every line, suppose there is a spelling mistake, and there is one thing specifically it happens with English teachers. I'm talking with my own experience. Spelling mistake is the first thing that come to their eyes while evaluating, and they get irritated with that. English teacher में कौन भावंती के जाने माने जैसे भावंती समझते कहीं spelling mistake करया कथा न जैसे insult to language एमती type से गोटे चिंताधारा नहीं की चलती, and you cannot really modify their thoughts. So you should be trying not to make many mistakes. प्रति लाइन रे गोटे गोटे जदी mistake कर देथिवो then it's a problem. It's a problem.
सर जो एसे रे से कहले कोटेशन कथा सपोज रिक्वायरमेंट हैला हमको गोटे संस्कृत श्लोक लेखार अछि कोन संस्कृत श्लोकटा ना हम चाहू उद्यमन ही सिद्धंति कार्याणि न मनोरथम न ही सुप्त से सिंहस्य प्रविशति मुख्य मुगा सपोज एंते गोटे एसे आसला त कंटेस्ट रे हमको कंटेंट रे बा कंटेस्ट रे हमको लेखा पड़िबो इटा कोन हम अल्टरनेटिव इंग्लिश लेखा पड़िबो ना केमजा कोन करिया पड़िबो यदि दरकार पड़ो
लेखिलो संस्कृत रे लिखि देलो and tapore bahut briefly you have to say the shloka reads or the shloka explains the shloka says कहे कि गोटे लाइन लिखियो पड़ो तार summary
to get achieve success we have to try unless until we try we cannot
unless
get
you explain that shloka you cannot really establish the connection why you presented that श्लोका there.
ठीक है हां हो
आउ जदि सिटी in Bhagavad Gita the shloka says जदि कहबो that would be little more impressive.
ठीक है
then so next class ame ku through start kariba. You give me your opinion.
So your strategy.
Sir, strategy class.
Strategy class.
Okay, strategy class, but which topic? Comprehension. Okay,
As per your
let's start
schedule.
with comprehension then. Good enough, no problem. Any other thing that you want to say? Do you think we made some sense today?
Yes, sir. Knowledgeable, educational.
Sir, Presi start hole bolo. My suggestion.
Okay. Comprehension to start kariya better because Presi writing involves comprehension. Do you agree or not?
Agree.
Yes, sir.
Presi writing, the first stage is comprehension. So if you are confused between comprehension and Presi writing, where to start with, I would suggest, and I think that is the best to start with comprehension.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Sir, class koko dinu rahibo?
Again, we are little confused about it, and you have to adjust a little because I have been posted somewhere where I have to travel every week. I travel here and there around 300-400 kilometers. So I will be taking 3 to 4 classes every week. Don't worry about it. But little flexibility we want this time. Okay.
Sir, next time kebe class ho?
Today is Thursday, right?
Yes, sir.
Saturday, 8 o'clock.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Can we have a 2-hour class?
Yes, sir. No
Yes,
problem.
sir.
Yes,
Sure,
yes,
sir.
yes.
Saturday,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
what time to what time?
As preferable by
Eh,
you, sir.
Sir, 7 o'clock.
7 to 9.
7 to
7 to
9.
9. Yes, sir.
Sir,
Are you
7
sure
to
you
9.
are you
Yes,
sure
sir.
you do not have your optional classes, GK classes?